You can be a giant at home. But out in the world, you are just a second-class debtor. This video is not about aspirations. Not about slogans. We are talking about something much colder, the rules of the game. In the past 50 years, every successful international financial center, from London, Singapore to Dubai, did not start with skyscrapers. They started with legal frameworks. Vietnam's problem is not a lack of money. The problem is, international money does not trust the system that protects it when disputes arise. This episode is about that paradox. VN30 is not poor. But VN30 is being priced like a risky economy. Many people ask, after building a financial center, when will we collect taxes? That is the mindset of a retailer. The revenue of an IFC does not lie in collecting corporate taxes, but in the flow of cash and the added value that it drags along. The IFC does not live by picking pockets. The IFC lives by the breadth of the market. A successful IFC has 4 core revenue sources. First, entity registration fees. Every bank, every investment fund that wants to step into the legal green zone pays an annual membership fee. Second, transaction fees. Just collect a tiny fraction on every order of stocks, bonds, or derivatives, when transaction volume is measured in billions of USD per day. This figure is not small. Third, the most important, the supporting ecosystem. When a Goldman Sachs appears, it brings along lawyers, Big Four auditors, strategic consultants, fintech, and data. The real taxes come from here. From the spending of tens of thousands of high-level personnel. According to the international model, $1 of direct profit from the IFC right-pointing arrow creates 3 to 5 USD. For the local economy, that is the leverage. The right question is not how much to invest, but where to invest. Estimate 2 to 3 billion USD in the first 5 years. For hard and soft infrastructure, look at Dubai. The IFC contributes more than 10% of GDP. With Ho Chi Minh City, if the 2030 roadmap is correct, the IFC could contribute 1 to 2% of GDP growth per year for Vietnam. The investment focus must be software and institutions. Real-time payment systems, global connectivity. That is the revenue bloodstream. The manual is very clear. Initial phase. Corporate income tax 0 to 5%. Number 1 goal. Transaction volume. Volume is the life of the IFC. Taxes will naturally follow. This video series is not intended to teach anyone how to collect taxes. It aims to help us reset our thinking on how a financial center makes money, without suffocating the market. If you believe that taxes are not the starting point, cash flow needs to breathe. And the IFC must be operated as a global service, not an administrative agency. Please join this series. We will move forward, layer by layer of infrastructure, each sandbox, each new asset, to answer a bigger question. Where can Vietnam take a shortcut, and what price must be paid? See you in the next episode. Many countries talk about AI like a piece of jewelry, national AI centers, AI strategies, AI seminars. But in an IFC, AI has only one mission: keeping the cash flow from being dirty, fraudulent, or laundered. Episode 7. A financial center lives on trust. Trust does not come from slogans, it comes from a real-time transaction monitoring system. Detecting abnormal transactions in milliseconds. Flagging market manipulation behavior before humans can realize it. Automatically reporting compliance for multiple legal standards at once. This is why leading IFCs build a reg tech stack even before inviting investors. No reg tech right-pointing arrow, no big funds right-pointing arrow, no volume. A fatal mistake. Wait for complete laws before allowing testing. In the digital financial world, laws always lag behind technology. A smart IFC does not wait for laws to be finished, they create a sandbox. A sandbox is not deregulation. A sandbox is limited scale, limited risk, limited subjects, but maximum openness for innovation. In there, stablecoins are tested in B2B payments. Bond tokenization is tested with professional investors. AI advisory is tested under regulatory supervision. Each successful sandbox equals a new standard. New standard equals first mover advantage. And first mover advantage in finance is usually measured in decades. Look back. Revenue comes from volume. Volume comes from trust. Trust comes from digital infrastructure plus flexible institutions. So what is an IFC essentially? Not a piece of land. Not a building. But a national financial operating system. Whichever nation builds this operating system early, that nation will become the place where money finds its own way in, without needing an invitation. In the new era, concrete is just the shell. Data is the internal organs. If Vietnam wants to take a shortcut and get ahead, we must not build the IFC like building an urban area. But we must build it like building a living brain. Managers fear risk. Startups fear being fined. The result is that the boldest ideas of Vietnamese people must go to Singapore to be born. Episode 8. To keep the gray matter. Vietnam needs a sandbox. A place where you are allowed to be wrong. Traditional finance is being challenged simultaneously by blockchain, DeFi, and AI. Laws always lag behind technology. Not by 1 year, but sometimes by 10 years. If we wait for laws before allowing testing, then by the time the law is born, that technology is already obsolete. The sandbox was born to solve this paradox. Not to loosen control, but to observe while it is growing up. Regulators do not stand outside. They sit at the same table as the founders. Understanding where the risks lie. Testing within a small scope. If successful, grant a license. If unsuccessful, close it. Without letting the system collapse. That is how Singapore became the #1 fintech hub in Asia. They don't ban the new. They learn how to manage the new while it is alive. A sandbox only works when there are clear rules. Vietnam needs to invite experts from the FATF to design specific AML standards for the sandbox. Businesses are exempt from some procedural risks. But in return, the cash flow must be absolutely transparent. The focus should be asset tokenization, real estate, gold, futures contracts. When assets are coded, liquidity increases exponentially. The manual here is very clear. Don't try to control what's inside the box. Control the boundaries of the box. When trust is established in the sandbox, venture capital will find its own way in. Vietnam is in the world's top 3 for the level of cryptocurrency adoption. But what do we gain? Nothing. Transaction fees, user data, added value. All are flowing to foreign exchanges. We are sitting on a gold mine, but letting the neighbors mine it for us. Episode 9. A new generation financial center does not just trade stocks or foreign currencies. It trades carbon credits, digitized real-world assets, RWA. The world is thirsty for carbon credits to achieve net zero goals. Vietnam has forests, has renewable energy. We can become the region's leading carbon exchange. Imagine an investor in the US buying 1/1000th of a building in 2 theme with just 1 click. That is not the future. That is liquidity being unleashed. Who are the partners? Exchanges and organizations that have gone ahead. Binance, Coinbase, JP Morgan with Onyx. The advisory council must have international blockchain experts, green economy experts from the WB. Revenue from digital asset exchanges will be the revenue anchor for the IFC in the long term. Just by capturing 5% of the global carbon market share, revenue could exceed the total tax revenue of the entire current banking industry. This is the last chance for Vietnam to step out of the follower role. Digital assets are not virtual. They are trillions of dollars floating out there. The problem is simply Who can build the lightning rod first? The world does not lack. Promises of the financial center of the future. Episode 10. From the sands of the Middle East to emerging special zones in Southeast Asia. Everyone talks about tax incentives. Everyone boasts about infrastructure. So why would the sharks of Wall Street have to stop at a new name like Theme? If you only talk about GDP potential, they will not listen to the end of the sentence. What they need is not potential, but an irreversible commitment. Marketing a financial center is not like marketing tourism. You don't sell images. You sell institutional trust. The manual here is very clear. From day one, IFC Ho Chi Minh City must attach itself to the most prestigious rating organizations. GFCI. Transparency rankings. The standards that the global financial world is used to. We need to appear at Davos. Not to make general speeches, but to announce alliances. Partner with Magic Circle law firms. Top custodian banks. Singapore does not promote that they are rich. They promote that they are disciplined. Vietnam also needs a clear positioning. The safest destination for digital assets. And green economy in ASEAN. Don't try to be a second New York. Be number one in a niche that the world needs. A pivotal initiative. Organize the annual IFC Summit Ho Chi Minh City in Theme. Not a formal conference, but a place to announce commitments. Invite the CEOs of BlackRock, Vanguard, the people who manage tens of trillions of dollars, to the site. They don't listen to reports. They look at infrastructure. They ask about laws. They check speed. Regarding national marketing, don't hire mass advertising agencies. Hire financial PR firms. In London and New York, they know how to put Vietnam on Bloomberg, Financial Times, Reuters, using the exact keywords that capital seeks. Rule of law. Arbitration excellence. Capital mobility. The IFC brand does not lie in a slogan. It lies in how long it takes for a visa to be granted, how transparent a financial adjudication is, and whether a commitment is kept unchanged. After 10 years, in the financial world, reputation is built over decades, but can collapse in a second. Don't sell what you hope to be able to do. Sell what you have locked down so there is no turning back. Commitment is the most expensive product, and also the only thing global capital truly buys.